Let's talk about wild camping. It's an experience that pulls you away from the everyday and throws you headfirst into the raw, untamed beauty of nature. In bear country. A place where you're not just a visitor, but a participant in a world that operates by its own ancient rules. Some call it adventure, a chance to test your limits and discover what you're truly capable of. Others, a questionable life choice. A decision that might lead to sleepless nights and a newfound appreciation for the comforts of home. You pack your tent, carefully folding it, hoping it's as waterproof as the label claims. Your freeze-dried chili, a culinary marvel that promises sustenance, if not necessarily flavor, and a dash of bravado, because let's face it, you'll need it. You're heading into the real woods, leaving behind the familiar and stepping into a world of towering trees and winding trails, where the local celebrities have claws and aren't afraid to use them. The idea, you, the wilderness, a vast expanse of nature's grandeur, and the possibility of meeting something wild that thinks your trail mix is an appetizer. A furry, four-legged critic with a discerning palate. It's about disconnecting from Wi-Fi, escaping the digital noise and connecting with the food chain. A stark reminder of your place in the natural order, sometimes from a lower rung, a humbling experience to say the least. People say it's about solitude, finding peace in the quiet of the wilderness. You'll feel it when a twig snaps outside your tent at 2 a.m. That's when the solitude becomes a little less comforting. It's a primal feeling, a surge of adrenaline that reminds you you're alive. One that makes you wish for a concrete bunker, or at least a slightly thicker tent. So, you've chosen this brand of outdoor recreation. You've weighed the risks and decided to embrace the wild. Good luck, or condolences. Either way, you're in for an experience. We conquered a continent, tamed the land, built cities, and now for fun, we pretend we haven't, willingly returning to a more primitive state by risking a weekend with large mammals. A chance to reconnect with our roots, or maybe just a good story for the grandkids. It builds character, forges resilience, and provides ample opportunities for self-reflection. Or at least a story for the office if you make it back. A tale of triumph, or perhaps a cautionary one. The goal isn't just survival, though that's certainly a plus, but a tale to brag about. A legendary adventure worthy of campfire stories. This isn't your grandma's picnic unless your grandma is particularly hardcore, unless she arm wrestled badgers, in which case she's probably got some good wilderness tips. It's about facing the untamed, the raw, unfiltered essence of nature, the unpredictable, the ever-shifting moods of the wilderness, and the undeniably furry. The creatures that call this place home, and might just be curious about your trail mix. Remember, bear-proof is more hope than guarantee. It's a challenge to the local wildlife, not a foolproof barrier. So, boots on, laced up tight, ready for whatever the trail throws your way, bear spray ready, not for your buddy, a last resort, and hopefully never needed. And let's explore why sharing your campsite, your temporary home in the wilderness, with a massive eating machine, a creature of immense power and appetite, is both terrifying and somehow magnificent, a reminder of the wildness that still exists in our world. Bear country is stunning. It's a place where the sheer scale of nature overwhelms you, where every vista seems designed to take your breath away. Mountains that scrape the sky, their peaks often shrouded in mist, stand as silent guardians of this wild domain. They are ancient, weathered, and undeniably imposing. Rivers clear and cold, rushing down from glacial heights, carving paths through the rock. These waterways are the lifeblood of the ecosystem, providing sustenance for all. Air that feels untouched, crisp and clean, fills your lungs with an invigorating energy. It's a world away from the stale air of the city. Trees stand as ancient sentinels, their gnarled branches reaching towards the heavens, bearing witness to centuries of seasons. Wildflowers explode in color, painting the meadows in vibrant hues, a fleeting display of beauty against the rugged landscape. And sunrises paint the peaks in hues your TV can't match, a spectacle of light and shadow that unfolds anew each morning. Even the silence is profound, a stillness that allows you to truly connect with the natural world, a rare, resonant quiet that lets you hear your own thoughts, a space for introspection and reflection, far from the noise of modern life, which here often revolve around bears. Their presence is a constant reminder of the wildness that surrounds you, but this isn't just a pretty picture, it's not a screensaver. It's a living, breathing ecosystem, a complex web of interconnected life. Every rustle, every call, every distant howl tells a story of survival and adaptation, is part of a complex web of life, a delicate balance that can be easily disrupted. You're a temporary, sometimes clumsy visitor, an observer in a world that existed long before you and will continue long after you're gone. The beauty is in the raw, untamed power, the feeling that you are witnessing something truly authentic, the scent of pine, sharp and clean, filling the air, the feel of granite, cool and rough beneath your fingertips, the taste of wild berries, a burst of sweetness on your tongue, after you check they're not poisonous, a crucial step in wilderness survival. Don't let the scenery lull you into a false sense of security. This is not a petting zoo. Those mountains, home to things that can outrun you, outclimb you, and definitely outbite you. Those forests, perfect hiding spots for creatures with impressive teeth, claws, and a distinct lack of patience for human interference. Here, beauty and beastliness go hand in hand, a constant reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature. You come for the views, the vistas that stretch to the horizon. You stay because a bear might be napping on the trail, blocking your path and forcing you to reconsider your life choices. It's all part of the charm, the thrilling uncertainty of the wilderness experience. Or so I tell myself when I hear that twig snap, and my heart leaps into my throat. Night in bear country, a realm where the rustling leaves become whispered threats, where your imagination runs wild, painting vivid pictures of the unseen. Every shadow dances with the potential for danger. By day, you're a bold explorer, striding confidently through the wilderness, a master of your domain. By night, you're a human motion detector, every sense heightened, every nerve on alert, tuned to every sound, straining to decipher the language of the forest. Every creak is a bear climbing, scaling the trees with silent menace. Every rustle, a bear sneaking up, padding softly through the undergrowth, getting closer and closer. Every owl hoot, clearly a bear signal, a coded message between predators in the night. I remember one night, cocooned in my thin nylon tent, a fragile barrier between me and the wild. Every sound magnified, amplified by fear and the stillness of the night. A breeze? Obviously a grizzly's breath, hot and heavy on the other side of the tent wall. A rodent? Surely a bear cub, lost and looking for its mother. With its mother close behind, a protective force of nature ready to defend her young. Your mind turns harmless noises into vivid threats, conjuring up images of claws and teeth. They say to make noise if you see a bear, to announce your presence and avoid a surprise encounter. But at 3 a.m., every noise, every rustle, every snap, a bear. A looming, hungry bear. You clutch your bear spray, your only weapon against the wilderness, wondering if the safety's on, fumbling in the dark, your heart pounding in your chest, rehearsing your "Hey bear" in a whisper, trying to sound confident but your voice trembling with fear. You question your tent's zippers, are they bear-resistant? A flimsy line of defense? Probably not, just a thin layer of nylon between you and the wild. Then comes the classic twig snap, the sound that shatters the silence. Your heart races, convinced it's a bear, stalking you just beyond the trees. Hungry and aware of your extra chocolate bar, its sweet scent a beacon in the night. You tell yourself it's just the forest, the wind playing tricks on your ears. Or a deer, its eyes reflecting the moonlight like distant stars. Or a raccoon, scavenging for scraps near your campsite. But a small voice whispers, a seed of doubt planted in your mind. Or it's a bear, and it's coming for your snacks, drawn by the irresistible aroma of human treats, and maybe your soul. A dark thought that sends a shiver down your spine. Sleep tight, dream of fluffy sheep, not hungry bears, if you can, because in bear country sleep is a luxury, not a guarantee. Camping gear, where practicality meets obsession. In bear country, it's a parade of gadgets and gear, all promising survival and comfort. The bear canister engineered to thwart bears and, often, humans desperate for oatmeal. I've seen PhDs nearly cry trying to open one. Bears probably watch, amused. Then the clothing layers upon layers until you resemble a rustling neon marshmallow. The cost? Astronomical. All to be moderately comfortable while terrified of bears. Gadgets abound. GPS units, water filters, headlamps bright enough to summon aliens. And knives. So many knives, though most only spread peanut butter. If you can find the cracker in your bear canister, the ultimate bear spray, revered for its power, feared for the chance you'll spray yourself. Know the wind direction, they say. Sound advice, especially when panicking at a moving shadow. Is it a bear, or just your expensive jacket falling off a branch? Either way, you're prepared. For something. Or at least you look the part. Just don't forget the snacks. And maybe a manual for your gear. Everyone's an expert on not getting eaten by bears. Make noise, they say, so you wander, singing off key or loudly discussing your taxes. The goal, don't surprise a bear. Apparently that's a major faux pas. Store your food properly. Cue the nightly ritual of hoisting bags into trees, usually in the dark, with raccoons betting on your success. If you meet a bear, stand your ground, look big, don't run. Easy in theory, harder when facing a 600-pound grizzly. Flapping your arms like a deranged chicken probably just confuses the bear. And remembering whether to fight back or play dead, good luck, adrenaline doesn't help. Maybe just try not to smell too delicious. Or at least, not like granola bars. Survival tip, keep your sense of humor handy. After a few nights in bear country, you reach a strange, hyper-aware zen. You're attuned to beauty and acutely aware that any rustle could spell doom. It's exhausting, but oddly invigorating. You start to notice the little things. Moss patterns, sunlight through leaves, the species of bug aiming for your eyeball. Every broken twig, every footprint. Potential bear evidence. Silence becomes loaded. Too quiet and you wonder what's lurking. Your inner monologue is a loop of, what was that, should I worry? Yet in the midst of anxiety, peace emerges. Sitting by a fire, under the stars, worries fading for a moment. You feel small, vulnerable, but part of something immense. Then a branch snaps, and you're back to clutching the bear spray. It's a roller coaster of fear and awe. But that's the magic. Balance, in the wildest sense. Much of the terror in bear country is self-inflicted. Our imaginations run wild, especially in the dark. I once mistook a squirrel dropping pine cones for Sasquatch circling my tent. Relief was immediate, followed by embarrassment. The wind in the trees, sometimes it sounds like a giant breathing outside your tent. Animal sounds get twisted. An elk bugle becomes a monster, an owl's hoot a bear's warning. Even frog croaks morph into sinister chuckles at 2 a.m. Our ancient instincts fill in the blanks, always assuming the worst. Phantom smells don't help. Was that wet dog or just my socks? The mind turns ordinary into extraordinary, fear into farce. It's all part of the wild experience. Good times indeed. Amidst all the sarcasm, there are moments that truly take your breath away. You can't plan them. They just happen, often when you're most on edge. I remember one dawn stepping out of my tent into a misty golden world. Sunlight pierced the trees, dewdrops sparkled, and across the meadow a young black bear foraged for berries. Not a monster, just a wild creature, part of the scene. The bear glanced at me, then returned to breakfast indifferent. For a moment I forgot about fear, gear, and bear spray. I just watched, feeling connected to something ancient and grand. These are the payoffs, the glimpses of nature in its raw, unfiltered state. A herd of elk, an eagle soaring, the silence of a snowy forest. These memories balance out the fear-driven ones. They remind you the wilderness isn't just out to get you, it's offering you something magnificent, worth braving a few imaginary Sasquatches for. But don't tell anyone I got sentimental, let's keep that between us. Now back to pretending I'm only here for the danger. So, why do we do it? Why trade comfort for a lumpy patch of ground and the symphony of nocturnal forest life? After a hot shower, the answer becomes clear. There's satisfaction in facing your fears, even if they're mostly in your head. There's pride in self-reliance, in surviving with just what you carry. It's a reset for the soul. Modern worries fade when your main concern is not becoming a bear's entree. Wild camping in bear country is a cocktail of terror and wonder. The fear keeps you sharp, the beauty seeps into your bones. It's uncomfortable, sometimes frightening, but unforgettable. You return with stories, a new appreciation for plumbing, and maybe a bit wiser. If you're tempted, go prepared. Read the pamphlets, buy the spray, learn to hang your food, but also bring an open heart and a sense of humor. You'll be scared, uncomfortable, and probably mistake a squirrel for a grizzly. But you'll witness beauty that makes it all worthwhile. It's a dumb, beautiful dance with the wild, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.